Alright guys, so that video that you just watched is from the future. Yeah. We're about to make that video now using a free open source video editing software. So we're going to use some drone footage that I've taken. I'll walk you step by step through each stage, from editing the video together, a bit of colour correction, through to the export. So yeah, stick around. I think you'll find it useful. Alright guys, so welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Neil from Neil Collins Recording. If you enjoy this video, find it useful, please like, subscribe, hit the bell. All helps me grow the channel and notify you when future videos come out. I'm trying to build a bit of a community, video creators, photographers, and just hobbyists, anyone really who's interested in making films and taking photos. Part of the reason for making this particular video is I've seen on a fair few forums people asking which editing software people use. So yeah, I use Premiere Pro. I've always used Premiere Pro, and I kind of know my way around it now, and it works for me. I've got quite a fast workflow on it now. But yeah, you do pay a monthly fee for the Creative Cloud package. I think it's great value for money. I use it all the time. You get Photoshop and Lightroom and everything else. But I do this for a living, so I can justify paying the money. If you're just doing this for a hobby, I mean, you can get Premiere Pro by all means. That's your call. If you don't want to spend any money on editing software though, I've done a little bit of a shop around for you. So I found 6 that I thought were worth looking into. I've now discounted 4 of them. For the reasons I will give now. Now, you know, these are first impressions, so I could be wrong. It might not be compatible with my PC, but this is what I found anyway. So Blender, I started using Blender. After about 5 minutes of trying to get 4K video to actually play, I gave up. I just couldn't get it to work. It might work better with 1080p footage, full HD footage, but if you're wanting to edit 4K videos, a lot of drones shooting 4K now, and I just couldn't get the footage to play. I mean, I know you can't always, in Premiere Pro, if I've got loads of 4K footage, I often make proxies so that I'm using smaller files to edit to. But I'd only imported like 2 files, and neither of them were playing properly, so for me, I just gave up. I'll put a link in the description for all of these programs that we go through today, so you can check them out for yourself. They might work for you. And then I went on to Lightworks, which was a great bit of software. The timeline, the editing was all great. I pretty much edited the whole film together. Then I got to the export stage, and the free version, you can only export in 720p. All that work for nothing. Not for nothing, because I found out it doesn't export 1080p. For a free version, I think I could have gone with 1080p, because it's still, you know, still full HD. That's fair enough. 720 is just a little bit. It probably would have looked all right, but I think you guys probably want to export in at least 1080p, especially if it's like drone footage. You want it to look cinematic. You need a good quality image. So yeah, if I'd have known at the start that you can only export in 720p, I wouldn't have edited the whole film together. But the actual interface is good, nice and easy to use. I then went on to Avidemux. I've probably pronounced that totally wrong. Avidemux, something like that anyway. And that one for me was just a bit too basic. Looked basic. Functions are all a bit, it's a basic bit of editing software. But again, try it out, it might well work for you, and it might be just what you're looking for. But for me, I couldn't really get my head around it, and I kind of gave up on that one just because it was a bit. So I then went on to HitFilm Express, great name for a program, editing program. It's just not a very user-friendly interface. I didn't like it, so I didn't use it. I gave up on it. But again, have a look. and let me know. If it works for you, great. Like I say, it's like Final Cut and Premiere. You've got people that love working in Premiere, people who love working in Final Cut. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the film that comes out at the end of it. However you get to that final film and making a great looking film is all that matters. It doesn't matter which software you use to do it. The output is the only thing that really matters. So whatever works for you is the best software for you, you know? So then we get to DaVinci. Apart from Premiere and Final Cut, DaVinci is the one that everyone uses, pretty much. It's free and it's great, but it's not completely free if you want the full version. The free version is great, but for this video, I wanted it to be completely free and open source, the whole software free from the off. So the one that I've come up with for you guys is Shotcut. This is the one that I found was easy to use. You could export in 4K. There's some great tutorials for it. Completely free, like completely free. No hidden charges or anything. The film you saw at the start, all done on there. Let's make that film that I've already made now, okay? What you'll want to do first of all, in this new project area, if you click on this new project folder, it will let you select where you save your files. So I'll set up a new folder, and I'll call it Stunning Bowl Shotcut. So now anything we do for this project will get saved into that folder. So that's all set up. Next thing you want to do is select your video mode underneath this. You know, we've got all these different presets, that's great. For this one, we're just going to do 4K, 2160 in 24 frames per second. So we'll select that, okay, and then we'll give it a project name. So Stunning Bowl Shotcut. And then we'll click Start. Okay, so now we're ready to import some files to the project and get started on the timeline. So it's really easy to do this. What you want to do is go to Open File in the top left-hand corner, and then go to the folder where your files are. And for this, I'm only going to do a quick 20-second edit. So I'm going to select 4 clips and some music. Okay, so tap that one because it's actually that one. It's nice and dark. That's a good one. That one. And an end one. And the music. And click Open. And there we go. Now you've got all your clips and your music in a little playlist on the left-hand side. I'm only going to go for the basics of this so that you can import your video, edit it together, do a bit of colour correction and export it. If you want to do anything else, if you've used the links in the descriptions, it'll take you to the tutorials anyway, and then you'll be able to go more in depth on the software. This is really for you to just get a feel of what you can do with the free editing software, and you can gauge whether this is the sort of software that you want to be using. Okay, so first clip, you've got the timeline right down the bottom, and you've got a source file monitor here, so you can see what's going on in this. And what you can do, this is much like Premiere Pro actually, is you can choose the length of the clip. So you can find the best bits of the clip that you want to import. So let's have a look through it. When it starts to move forward, that's when I'm going to lift it. Just up to there really. You can either use these little markers to do the in and out points, or as in Premiere Pro, you can use your I and your O, and that will mark your in and out points. Very much like Premiere Pro. Grab the clip and just drag it into the timeline. And there you go. Let's put it in the timeline for you. If I just drag the music in, just drag it straight in here, it's just going to put it on the same line in the timeline. there, and you don't really want to be doing that. So Control Z is always your friend to undo. Same in most programs, Control Z is usually your undo button. So now you want to create another track for your audio. It's really simple to do. You just right click down here in your timeline, add audio track, or you can use Control U. So now we've created another track on the timeline that we can drag the audio into. So let's do that, and there we go. And there's my audio. I'm just going to drag the end of the music. I'm actually going to start from there, because the music doesn't really get going till then. So I'll just stretch that out to 20 seconds, whatever that is. So I'm going to grab the next clip, and I'm going to open it in the source monitor, and I'm just going to see which bit of this I want, probably from, so yeah, I want to get some of the fence at the start, so I'll probably do it from there. Yeah, and then the out point. That's what we do for me, so just one quick movement, and then we just drag that one down onto the timeline. Okay, so just above the timeline you've got your player, so you can use all the functions as you would any other player, so you can rewind to the start, play, stop, you know how a player works. So we'll hit play, we'll just watch this one, change, I might actually just, that's all I really need. Then I'm going to go for the next clip, which is this clip here. I love this clip. So I went to Stenning Bowl. I got up about 4:30 in the morning. Take these off. Got up about 4:30 in the morning. I'd seen the mist the last couple of days before, and I knew that it would be good early in the morning. Stenning Bowl is one of my favourite places to shoot anyway. It's really nice up there. So I got up super early, got down there as the sun was just coming up. Yeah, and I wasn't disappointed. It's amazing. And with the laws as they are in the UK, you can't really go above the clouds with your drone. To get above the clouds, you'd have to go above the limit, so it's not really an option. So you don't get many chances to get those sort of shots. So when there's a mist like this sitting on a valley, it's almost like you're going above the clouds. So I've got some really nice shots, and this is one of my favourites. So I'm definitely going to put this one in. So I'm just going to go with this bit here. So I'm going to hit I on my keyboard, and that will give me my in point. And then I will see where I want it to stop. There. It's quite nice, quite nice, quite nice. We'll probably just do it to there. Okay, and then we'll just drag that into the timeline. Okay, so that's the third clip in, and I can see by the audio there that that's where I'm probably going to want to edit in. And the last clip. If we go to our last clip, I think we'll start it about there, just as the sun is coming into view, and there's the sun, bang. And that'll be when we fade out. Drag that in. There we go, we've got 4 clips, got the music, and now we just want to do a bit of colour correction. We want to fade the music out at the end and fade the image out at the end. So that's really easy to do. Transitions and that are really easy in Shotcut. All you do is you hover over the top right hand corner of the clip, and you just drag it, and there you go. And that's your fade. And you can do the same with the audio. There we go, and fade. A little fade at the start, probably not as big, but just a little fade. If you wanted to put transitions in, it's quite easy to do. If you want to do your classic dissolve transition, all you do is you pull the clip you want to transition to on top of the other one, and it'll automatically create a little transition for you. I'm sure there's other transitions that you can use as well. Like I said, if you want to go more in depth on this, there's some great tutorials out there. So all I really want to do now with this is a little bit of color correcting, and that'll be it really. So to color correct, you click on the clip that you want to color correct. Top bar, you go to filters, click on the add button, and then this will bring up all your different options. The color correcting on this is going to be fairly basic. This is where software like Premiere Pro, Final Cut obviously comes into its own. The plugins are much higher quality, but you can get really decent results with a tiny bit of colour correction. The mistakes I see quite a lot is people over colour correcting their films and making them look really synthetic. You don't need to do that. A lot of images that you get straight out of camera and drones these days are really good, and you just need to do some fine adjustments. You don't need to go over the top. So these free software packages, if you're just putting together a quick drone video or a YouTube video or something like that, this will work fine. This will work fine. So yeah, you've got your normal functions. You've got your shadows, midtones and highlights that you can adjust just by moving it around like any other software. To center it, you just double click. I actually really love the colours straight out of the camera on this video. So I just maybe want to tweak it just so the images all fit together a little bit better. So I'm not going to use the colour grading one, but I am going to use the contrast option. So you can see in this drop down list, you've got all different options: size and position it, rotate and scale, you've got your white balance, anything you need basically to make your basic video. And I might just up the contrast just a tiny bit. The next clip I'm going to go on to, so this is a bit lighter than the other one, so again I'll probably up the contrast on this a fair little bit, not too much, a little bit, and I also might do something with might do a bit of colour grading on this one with the shadows. So I might just bring the shadows down a tiny bit. Well, that's pretty good. This one I'll probably do a similar sort of grade, so I'm just gonna up the contrast on this just a little bit. That's probably enough, not maybe too much, just a little bit. And I'm going to bring the brightness down just a tad. That's probably enough. And again, I'm just going to bring the shadows down just a tiny bit. Okay, and then the last clip, sorry, add a bit of contrast. Bring the shadows down just a little. Last thing I'm going to do, just to give it a little bit of a cinematic look, is put the widescreen bars in, and that's really easy to do as well. We go to the filter section, and then you're just going to go to crop, crop rectangle. I haven't worked out if there's like an adjustment layer or something like that, like in Premiere Pro that you can put across all the clips. I'm sure there is. I haven't found it yet. So I'm just going to do it for each individual clip for now. I'm just going to grab the corner and just lift it up. Grab the other corner. Just lift it up and then just copy these settings across. So yeah, now it's ready to export, which is really simple to do. So all you do is there's a big export button, second button in from the right. Click export. And then we've got all our different options for exporting. For now, I'm just going to export it in an MP4 as it is. And then you just go to Export File, click on that, and then if you look in the right-hand corner, you can see how long you've got left for it to export. It seems pretty quick, to be fair. So that's it for this video. I've only done a really basic edit on it, so don't critique my edit. That's not the point of the video. The point of the video was to show you that you can edit together your clips in a free open source software, totally free, and you can get some good results. Obviously, when you get a bit more professional with your edits, you might need to upgrade your software to something a bit more usable with some more advanced functions, and you'll probably have to pay for it. But if you're looking for a free option and you just want to edit together some videos to share with your friends and family, or on YouTube or on Facebook, then I think this is a good option. It's nice and easy to use, it's free. There might be a little bit of a lag depending on how fast your computer is, but it is 4K footage that I've been using, and I'm quite impressed with the way it's handled it, really. There's loads more that you can do with it than I've shown. I've literally just shown you the basics. Using my tutorial, you can import your footage, edit it together, do some basic colour correction, and export something that's more than shareable, you know. So yeah, I hope you found this useful. I've really enjoyed putting this together. Let me know in the comments if you found it useful. We're all here to learn from each other, and I think this is a really good way for people just starting out in video. So yeah, please like, subscribe, hit the bell. It really helps me to grow this channel and grow this community. I'd really like you to be a part of it. If you're interested in video, photography, just generally being creative, great to have you on board. So yeah, that's it from me. It's really hot, probably going to go have a shower. You probably didn't need to know that, and I'll see you next time.